before camouflage patterns, before Velcro, before tactical meant anything, the U.S. military lived in olive green, and depending on where you worked, that uniform might be starched so hard it could stand up by itself, or soft enough to survive the flight line. OG didn't mean original gangster, even though culturally it kinda fits. OG meant olive green, and the OG-107, introduced in the early 1950s, became the work uniform of the American military for decades. It wasn't designed to look intimidating. It was designed to work in motor pools, warehouses, maintenance shops, and the field. This uniform didn't care what your job was. It just assumed you were going to work. The OG-107 became iconic during Vietnam and throughout the Cold War. Heavy cotton sateen, button-down chest pockets, straight-leg trousers. No camouflage, because doctrine still emphasized discipline, formations, and movement over blending in. But here's what people forget. How you wore your OGs told everybody who you were. If you know, you know. There were two types of people in OGs: heavy starch and light starch. Heavy starch meant razor-sharp creases, sleeves stiff enough to cut paper. That uniform could practically hold rank by itself. Heavy starch said, inspection ready, squared away, maybe office, or you just didn't feel like hearing anything that day. Light starch, or no starch, meant comfort, movement, and function. Light starch said, I actually work for a living, and everybody understood the balance. Too much starch in the field, you're suffering. Too little starch in garrison, you're getting corrected. By the time I joined the Air Force in 1986, the OG-107 was gone. But the OG-507 was still very much alive. Same olive drab look, polyester cotton blend, lighter weight, less shrinkage. Still called fatigues, not battle dress. These weren't combat uniforms. These were get-it-done uniforms. If your OG-507s were clean, you probably hadn't done anything yet. And this is where the real culture lived. Some units allowed shirts out. Others, shirt tucked in. No exceptions. Short sleeves in the summer. Long sleeves when it cooled down or the job demanded protection. Pants bloused or unbloused depending on the mission and the work. Blouse and straps and jet fuel don't mix well. You could tell the season just by the fabric. Summer weight was thinner, still hot but survivable. Winter weight was heavier, stiffer, and held starch like armor. Winter weight OGs with heavy starch? That uniform wasn't bending for nobody. These uniforms weren't about looking tactical. They were about looking professional. Sewn on name tapes, sewn on rank, polished boots, pressed lines. Your uniform didn't make you elite. Your work ethic did. These uniforms were worn during integration, during post-Vietnam rebuilding, during the rise of the professional NCO Corps. A lot of African-American service members earned stripes, respect, and retirement in olive green, without anybody calling them heroes. So when people talk about military uniforms, they usually start with camouflage. But for a lot of us, our story started in olive green. OG-107, OG-507, starched or soft, shirt in or out, summer or winter weight. They weren't flashy, they weren't tactical, but they built the modern military, one long day at a time.